As I crunch my cookies.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Elatron. Sorry for the late start today. Let's see. I guess I should move my food out of the way. It's not really in the way because it's not on stream, but I don't want it in front of me. But yeah, alright. How are you doing, Mama?
Alright, I finished crunching my cookie.
I'm doing alright as well. I unfortunately do not have any cookies, so I can't do any cookie crunching.
Yep.
Move some stuff on the desk, including my microphone, which means I need to make sure my audio is still fine.
Now they're Biscoff cookies. I think of them as airplane cookies because they seem to always be cookies on airplanes.
Hmm.
Or at least at one time.
I think when I've been on a plane, I remember Biscoff cookies, but those are vague memories from how long? Yeah, it would be 2016. So almost 9 years since I've been on a plane. But yeah, all right. I unfortunately don't have anything else to talk about. So, anything else that you want to talk about before we get started, Mama?
I'm good to go straight into Sudokus.
All right. Then, first one we're gonna do is. Uh-oh, I forgot to mute my phone. I just barely heard it. Hopefully, it wasn't that audible on the my microphone, but I don't think it was. But I think my camera's not blocking all of the rules, but it's blocking enough of them. I don't know. It's fine. Whispers in the Mist by EDYXS. I don't know how I would pronounce that. There are an insufficient number of vowels. Sudoku. Fill the grid with digits 1 to 9 so that each digit occurs exactly once in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Yin Yang Fog. The grid is covered in fog. Once the puzzle is completed, any unshaded cells will be revealed, and shaded cells will still be covered in fog. All shaded cells are orthogonally connected. All unshaded cells are orthogonally connected. And no 2x2 region is entirely shaded or entirely unshaded. Clearing fog. Entering a correct digit in an unshaded cell will clear the fog. In that cell, and in seen cells, any unshaded cells that can be seen from that cell in an and around corners. What? Clearing fog. Entering a correct digit in an unshaded cell will clear the fog in that cell. In seen cells, any unshaded cells that can be seen from that cell in an orthogonal direction, with shaded cells blocking vision, and around corners, any unshaded cells that are orthogonally connected to a seen cell. Unshaded whispers. Any two orthogonally connected unshaded cells must have a difference of at least 5. Kropke, a white dot separates digits which are consecutive, and given digits, white digits are given but have not been entered into the grid. What?
I don't understand that last one either.
I have too many windows open on my computer. The AC came on, so I had to adjust my audio, and then I couldn't find the browser again. no one gets to see all of that stuff, so nobody would have known if I hadn't said anything, except for Mama, who can see my whole screen. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. They said this is a 7, so I'll place a 7, which means all of this is unshaded. But that means that all of this is shaded. And then it gets to see around corners. So does that mean that all of this, all of this, all of this is also shaded?
Well,
I
the
guess
ones
this
definitely
is
that would make a 2x2 would definitely be.
right. 2x2s and
No
checkerboards.
checkerboard.
Okay. And, well, the unshaded cells are whisper cells. So, or the German whisper differ by at least 5. So that's a 1-2
Right.
pair. I guess these are 8 or 9.
Well,
Because
could
they
be.
can't be 6. So
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Except they can't be 4. And this would be 1, 2, 3. It could potentially be a 4. We don't know. Because we'd have to put a digit in it to know.
There's
Okay,
the other
that's an
8
8,
and
9.
9.
1, 2, 3. It could be a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 or 9, because again, it can't be a 6. Six, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, in box 3, well, I guess
Mm-hmm.
I could say row 2, column 7. That can't be a 1 because it would have a 2 on the other side of the cropkey dot, which would break the 1, 2 next to the 7.
2's going to have the same problem, isn't it? Because those would be a 1-3 pair.
Yeah. Because then you would have 1, 2, 3 in 4 different spots. And if it's 3, it would have to go to 4.
Yeah. And if it's 4, it could go down to 3 or up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not too many from that group yet.
Yeah, and the next cropkey dot down, same thing. It can't be a 1 for a 1, 2 because so that 1 has to go away on the.
Well, we know because there's only one even digit here, that even digit has to be a 4. So we can take that 4 off of this one. Three, four, five, six. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Except neither of these two can be a 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, well, this can't be 6 or 7 because this couldn't be 1 or 2.
Right. It looks like the seeing around corners only goes one cell.
Yeah, because we won't get more
Right.
information.
Because it's not orthogonally connected to.
Yeah.
Oh, if you look in the bottom left corner of box 3, no checkerboard.
Right. Well, we know that this is going to have to extend. If this was not a 5, you'd have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where 4 would be one of those two, next to the 9, of course. But I don't know if we'd get any other information there. I guess I want to ask the question over here. Does one of these have to be a 4? Because one of these has to be a 5. So, if neither was a 4, then this would be a 3 clearly, which would place a 4 here. This would be 2 or 5, which would take 2 out of this one. And so if it's not a 4, that these are both 3. So then that would be a 2. Hold on. If this is a 3, then this would be a 4. Because that's a 3, this is 2 or 5. And if I'm saying this isn't a 4, then this couldn't connect to a 5. So then this would have to be a 2, and that would have to be a 3. So then
Electron
you get
asks,
1,
would you
4.
mind testing a new puzzle of mine today?
Yeah, we can do that after this one. 9. And we get a 1, a 2, and a 1. This would have to be dark. Maybe I make that blue. 8. but then this would have to be light. It's 2x2s.
And the one that's highlighted now would have to be light. Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say because of no checkerboard, but that's not the case.
Yeah, blue is gray.
Right, but below the red, which is light,
Yeah,
would
that would
have to
also
be
have to
dark.
be light.
Right.
Because if it was dark, then you'd have a check.
Can't be dark. Right, because I was gonna say, so no checkerboard, but then I realized I said it wrong.
And then we could get 6, 7, 8, 9. So this can't be a 9. So then this would 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9, so that can't be 4. That's a 4, so that can't be 4. Can't be a 4 anymore. Alright, well, this is going too far. Saying that those have to be low digits, so I need to think of something else. Can I put links in chat? Oh, looks like I can put links in chat. No one else can. I have all the power as the streamer. At least it showed up on my phone. Yeah, there's a lot of rules for this puzzle.
I can't remember. Did it say all Kropke dots were given?
It does not say that.
Okay. And is it a closed?
It says that all of the shaded cells are connected orthogonally, and all of the unshaded cells are connected orthogonally.
Okay.
Oh.
So the unshaded is going to have to go around the outside of box 3. Which makes...
Does it have to? I mean, we know one
That's
of
why I was
these two
asking if it's
is.
closed. That's why I was asking if it's a closed ring. But no, I guess it can't be.
I guess if we made the assumption, because one of these two has to be,
Right.
if it didn't go all the way around, let's say this one was our light and that's a dark, then, and then let's just say that's a light and that's a dark. Then, when this connects to this, no matter how that happens, even if we connected
Those
like
3 are going to
this,
be...
this one's going to end up being isolated from all of this.
Right.
So this does have to go all the way around.
And then the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 is going to be low. Which is the 4th from 1 through 4. So the right side of the Kropke dot is a 5.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, this has to be 6, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, does this one have to be unshaded? I think the answer to that one's actually no. It's just that this had to wrap around. But now that it's wrapped around, this could be shaded as long as I don't make it, it would just end up being shaded all the way around. Maybe get light here and here and there. Yeah. It's still 6, 7, 8, 9. It's just not necessarily connected to this
Right.
group. But we still know that this can't be a 4 because 5 and 4 had to be connected. But this being a 4 means these are both 9. And so this is an 8. And now this is unshaded and shaded, shaded. So this 9 can't see here, so that's shaded. But this can't be a 4, so this is. 9s are out of all of those. That's a 3 now. That has to be shaded. That has to be unshaded. Unshaded. So now, if this was shaded, well, it could still wrap all the way around, but then these just have to reach. And we're all good. Except no. Because even if this does reach all the way around, oh wait, it connects to this.
Right.
So yeah, then those would be perfectly fine to be connected like that.
Well, except for gonna have to go down into the bottom too. So.
Yeah. But we're not running into a contradiction just yet.
Right. Fives have to go in unshaded.
7.
I mean shaded.
Yeah.
In the black stripes.
Yep. Well, the entire 9th row being shaded would mean it doesn't care. It's only if it's in the yellow that it cares about being a whisper. Unshaded whispers. But if there's a yellow in, for example, row 1, column 9, then that would lead to that. Similar logic may apply to other cells. I mean, we do know that it cannot go yellow and then black into each other. It can't go yellow, black, yellow again. Because that wouldn't work. So, because no matter, like, if I did, those were dark and this was red, then this would have to connect somehow to this, and that's going to cut off everything on this part from this group here. So wherever the yellow stops along this column, the rest must be shaded. And it would have to be shaded all the way along around to here. So it's not going to be unshaded all the way down. But I guess at some point, you're right. Okay. I'm solving this parallel to you now, but weirdly got some digits you don't have, but most digits you have, I don't yet. But at some point, it's going to have to be shaded along this side, because I'm going to have to put a 5 in column 9. So that essentially means that this is going to be shaded all the way around to here. So this is unshaded, that's unshaded. So this isn't a 5. Yeah, now you're going to end up getting the extra digits I've got. Think about column 2, row 8. Column 2, row 8.
Has to be a 6. Because no matter where it goes to connect to that 8, it's going to be high. Think of how yellow can squirrel around. It's going to be...
Yeah, because it has to be orthogonal, the parity, the oddness, evenness, can't change between the distance between two cells, right? And so since this would be high, low, high, then even if I tried to go around this way, low, 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 still high. So if that's a 6 and a 1, this is a 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 3. Somehow we got a lot of unshaded cells over this way. But then this one, excuse me, that one, and that one. And then we can't make 2 by 2s.
Or checkerboards.
Right.
Box 6. And in box 5, that yellow's gonna have to come down.
Can't be a 6, that can't be a 4, that can't be a 4.
Well, and bounded by 2, 3 can't be a 7.
Right.
And that's a 7, 8 pair above it.
Right. So 9. And now this is high, so then this must also be high. This one must be low. Now, somehow 8s here line up, so 8s have to be here. That 8 pulls it out of there. And if this has to be low, then that's an 8.
That didn't clear any fog.
Because it's an unshaded, or excuse me, because it's a
Oh, right,
shaded
it's just
cell.
shaded. Right, right, right.
So
I
those
forgot
don't
about
help.
that.
Yeah. 1, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. These can't be 4, so that is. 4, 5, and 6.
Column 8 has 1, 3, and 9.
So this is what, 2, 8, and 7? Oh, can't be a 2 by 2, so this is light, or unshaded. And must be a high digit.
Um, the, the center digit of box 9 is yellow.
All right. And it has to be a 9, right? Because high digit distance. 7, 8, 2, and since those are light, and because it sees around corners, those are shaded, that it all gets
And
connected.
not 5.
And it has to be a 1. But then this is yellow, and then that has to be shaded. And then we're good. That
Yeah.
has to be a 7. 2, 1, 8, 3, 2, 7.
And
4 and
7 goes
9.
to 6 across the crop key there in box 5.
That's 9. Both of those could be a 7. That's kind of annoying.
Like all the shaded and unshaded is done. You're in alphabet mode.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I ended up in alphabet mode. So I'm gonna take the colors out because the grid tells you where the
Yeah.
these
Although
have to be
eventually
shaded.
it looks sad without the color now.
Yeah, I do feel weird removing the colors, but I'll get over it eventually, sometime after this puzzle's over. 6, 3, 4, and 3. This is the only one 4 can be in? Yeah, because 4 is rolled out of all that and there, and 4 can't be 9.
Row 8 has 3, 4, and 5.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, okay. 1, 5, and 6.
Column 2, 5 is at the bottom.
4 and 7. 7's right there. 3. There we go. First try. Looks like I'm missing 1 and 9. And then this just must be a 2. How about here? The 5, 6 pair means these 3 are fixed. 5, 6, 8, 1, 4, and 9. Next up, click 2. 2, 3, 7, 9, 4, and 8. Those two can't be 6, so that is 5, 1, 9, and 5. 5 and 6, 5 and 6. 3, 7, 8, 9. Not a 3, so we don't know. 4, 8, 2, and 7. That one's number 2. Alright, now what?
Oh, column 3 between the 4 and the 1.
Oh, there.
Whispers.
Yeah. Solution code is mysticism. Well, I can't copy that, so that's a tad annoying. Somehow there are 2 puzzles named Whispers in the Mist.
That
Interesting. But this one, mysticism. I mean, it wasn't super difficult. The hardest part of it was the distance between the odd evenness or high low, the parity distance doesn't change no matter where you are in the grid. So once you know that a cell was unshaded, you knew whether it was high or low, regardless of where it was, as long as you knew where one high or low digit was, which is really interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with average, but on like the higher end of average. The fact that this is 2 stars is I don't know, a bit confusing to me, but because I can see arguments for that being a hard puzzle. But especially with there being so many rules. But yeah. Anyway, next puzzle we're gonna do is not that one. That is called spoilers.
Yeah, but I thought we were going to do Electron's puzzle next.
Exactly. Now, is it already on Logic Masters Germany? Because, yeah, all of these seem to be solved. So, you either need to put it on Logic Masters Germany or send it to me on Discord. Forgot to save the link to Whispers in the Mist. I don't remember which one of these it was. Of course, I got the wrong one. Paste. Save. Alright. Then, link. And paste and go. Alright, our next puzzle is going to be Distant Disorder by Electron. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Entropic lines. Any set of 3 sequential cells along a beige line must contain a low digit 1, 2, or 3, a middle digit 4, 5, 6, and a high digit 7, 8, 9. Digits may repeat on lines if allowed by other rules, and digits on a 2-cell entropic line may not be both low, both middle, or both high. Telekinetic properties. If the digit n is in a cell with a white arrow, the digit n steps in the direction of the arrow must be consecutive with n. If the digit n is in a cell with a black arrow, the digit n steps in the direction of the arrow must be in a 1:2 ratio with n, and not all telekinetic properties are necessarily given. This puzzle does not have the solution in it yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, well, we know that these have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. And the same is true over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Because they're in the 1:2 ratio. And in the 1:2 ratio, 5, 7, and 9 are
Electron was asking, I'd like to know your opinion on how to write the rules for the entropic lines because the lines are only 2 or 3 digits long. So the usual entropic line rule is kind of.
I would just leave it as is. I thought the rules as is are understandable. Unless, I mean, I'm assuming you're using entropic lines because it disambiguates this part up here in a way that a German whisper line couldn't do it. And then, I mean, that's probably the same down here. A German whisper line or a Dutch whisper line. Some type of whisper line that makes you think in like the binary method. Alright, because you could shorten them to only be like on an entropic line, there cannot be 2 of the same entropy set. 3 sequentialness is redundant here. Yeah, I mean, you could get rid of the sequential part. I mean, I wouldn't be. I think it's clear enough as is. I'm not as concerned about the redundancy um, as the clarity. Um, but if you don't like the that it feels redundant, then taking it out is probably good. But yeah, because yeah, I'd rather there was more words in an interest to be clear than attempting to be too concise. Um, but yeah, and then there's always that element of um, like, is this brand new? So um, I think it's fine, even if I didn't know entropic lines before. But I also don't want to call them entropic lines that not right. Yeah, I mean that's the reason I wouldn't be too concerned about the extra redundancy, because it's a standard um, variant rule. So like, it's not as if the redundancy adds any or creates any um, confusion, at least from my reading. Um, so in that aspect, I think it's fine. Mum, do you have any opinions?
No, I think that works the way it's stated.
Yeah, like I
Because if
don't.
there are only 2, it just means you can't have from the 3rd set, so it's just I think it's fine as stated.
Mhm. And I think I've seen other entropic line puzzles that have had a distance of 3. I think the distance of it being 2 is new-ish. Um, but I mean, even if you didn't have the extra set or portion for the digits on a 2 cell entropic line may not be both low, both middle, or both high, I would have read it as that way, because otherwise it wouldn't. There would be no point in the line at all. But again, like, I'd rather the extra clarity um, than an attempt to be concise that um, adds ambiguity. So, but technically, it's necessary. I mean, I guess because it does say any set of 3 sequential digits on a beige line, but again, like, if it's less than 3, um, then, like, if it could have been 2 from the same set, same pair or groupings, um, then, like, the line would be useless. But yeah, but yeah, I always think it's better to have the extra ness. I mean, or I guess maybe it's not necessarily obviously. There is always the concern that, like, there'll be so many rules that it looks intimidating, but I don't
Oh,
know.
I think it looks like it would just be more for clarification, kind of like when you have a single digit arrow line.
Yeah.
It just says that these 2 are from different groups
Mhm.
when you have 2 rather than more.
Mhm. All right. Um. Oh, I was explaining how I know that the anything that has a black arrow in it, why it's only or why it cannot be 5, 7, or 9. And since they're in a 2-to-1 ratio, 5, 7, and 9 are all odd, so you can't divide them by 2. Otherwise, you'd have a half, which you can't keep in. But the reason we're allowed to have 1 and 3 is because we can double them. But 5, 7, and 9, double them, and you get 2-digit numbers, which we can't represent in Sudoku. And so,
Well, and 8s on those arrows can only appear in rows and columns 1 and 9.
right. So we
But
take
yeah,
these ones out. Now this one's in column 1, but because it points up, it only has
right.
7 spaces to look through.
And one of those on the top has to be an 8. So we know one of the ones on the bottom is a 7 or 9, but that's just kind of nitpicky at the moment. Yeah, that could be an 8.
These ones can't be. Or excuse me,
Oh, right.
one of
One
these
of
has
those
to have
has
an
to
8.
be. Right,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew that.
I thought that's what you were referring to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we know we have an 8 up here, which is going to end up placing a 4 down here, which is going to take the 4 out as a possibility. So 6 is going to end up being a requirement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to place a 3 here and take 3 out of all of there. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 means the remainder is 3, 5, 7, and 9. And we know the 3 is one of those. Hopefully my PC is not coming through.
I
One,
wasn't
two.
noticing it from here, so.
Okay. Yeah, you should hear, if not the same thing as the stream, pretty much the same thing as the stream. So, if you hear anything annoying, let me know. Okay. So, okay. None of these can be 1, because then the 2 would have to be here. This can't be a 1, because that would have to be a 2.
Which
Now,
now leaves one spot for a 1.
right, which places a 2, automatically. So now, this still works as a 2. This one and that one don't work as a 2. So those can't be a 2. So that is 4, 6, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is this group. And because of the 2 here, none of those can be 4. They would have to be 8. 6 is going to be here, which places our 3, which takes 3 out. That's not a 2 anymore.
Stop.
Huh?
Electron said stop. Electron said stop.
But Electron, I'm doing everything right. Go back
Go
to the
back to
step.
this.
You remove the 2. Meow.
Because if the 2 in the first spot in cell 1 was a 2, you could put a 4.
But this is the only spot a 1 can go. Because all of these cannot be a 1, so that's a 1.
Right? But when you remove 2...
Oh, but these are the only 2 that can't be a 2. This one and that one both point at that if they're a 2.
Yes, but if go back. If the first cell...
Oh, but this takes the 2 out.
If the first cell of box 1 is a 2, that could be... Go down 2 for the 2 step. That could be a 4.
Oh. Right. Okay. But then that doesn't give me the nice logic where I get to say that 4s have to place an 8 here, and then the 6s end up having to place a 3 down here.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, I have to have a 2 up here anyway, because 4 and 6, so the 4
Right.
and 6 are from the same group, so that would have been completely wrong anyway.
And that now has to be a 4, and that still takes care of the 6 and the 8.
Okay, well now I'm just silly. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2, 8. 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are 3s. 8s are the 4s there.
Well, and since 3s are there in box 7, it takes the 3 away from on the air. Yeah.
Now this can't be a 1 because there's already a 2 in the column. So that's a 6. That's a 3. So now this is 1 or 2, which would place a 2 here, or a 1 or a 4 here. I wonder how long it would have taken me to catch the problem with the 4, 6, and 8 there.
Well, and I thought about that when you eliminated the 2, but I thought, okay, I just didn't see what you were seeing and just didn't say anything. So I should have spoken up.
Yeah. It's alright. Okay. Alright. So, now what? I guess I might consider filling these in.
Yeah, there's not much to...
None of
That's
them
too
can
much
be
to...
9. All of these can be 8. These can't be 8, and this can't be 8 or 7. But then 1, 2, and 6. 6 and 6. This isn't 1 or 4, this isn't a 3, that's not a 2.
Okay, in box 8, neither of those can be 7, because 7 puts you in row 1. And there's a
Oh, and the
6, 8.
6, 8 pair. Now, neither of these two can be an 8 because those aren't 7 or 9. And 7, those aren't 6 or 8. The bottom one can't be a 6, and the top one, I mean, it could be 5 or 7, so that's fine. Four and the 3 could work. Oh, it's this one over here. Never a 9, 2, 3, 4, and 6 are out. That would be 8, that would be 7, which could pair with the 6, so that's fine. Oh, 4 being here and the 3 being here actually makes this a 5.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes this a... I was about to say a 7,
4.
but that's not how that works.
Well, and underneath that 4 in box 9 can no longer be a 1.
Right.
And the 7 at the top can't be a 7.
Now this is 1, 2, or 3, which means this can't be a 1, 2, or 3. So this is a 3, and that's a 4, because this is a 6, and that's an 8. 4.
And
Roll.
that has to be from high because 4, 5, and 6 are all there. Yeah.
Oh, this can't be a 1 anymore. It's a 2, making this 1 or 4. And then we get 2 is one of those. And then 2 or 4 here for this one. For the 3. What's left over here? 179? 7, 9 pairs, so these two are what? 6
3.
and...
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this can't be 3 or 6, because the other from 3 or 6 is in the wrong distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, if
No.
this was a...
Oh, yeah. Okay. For some reason, I saw that as a white arrow and not a black. Never mind. Ignore me.
So now, this has to have a 1, which would place a 2, or it is a 2, which means neither of these can be a 2. They have to be a 4 now. But that means that this 2 is going to double into, or is going to have half into a 1. Because the 3 is going to have to pair with a 4, because it can no longer pair with the 2 because of the 1, 2. So 1 is one of those two, and 2 is one of those two. To make it less confusing, I'm going to take the 1 out, just leave the 2's here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, if this was a 3, it would go in here. 1, 2, 3. But now it can't be a 2 or a 4, so that's not a 3. And if this was a 1, that would pair with a 2, which would break that. So this is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it can't be a 4, so that's a 6. So 5 and 6 is out. 5 is out. This can't be an 8, because that would go all the way over there. And that's a 5, not a 7 or 9. So now that 2 would have to be a 1, which isn't allowed. That would break the 1, 2.
Yeah. And 3 is not consecutive with 6.
So this is 7. Goes all the way up here and places an 8, which means this isn't a 1. A 2 would place a 3 here. Or this is a 3, which is a 3. And the 3 would place a 2 here, because it can't be a 4. So this is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doesn't work. A 1 would have to pair with a 2. That just stopped working a long time ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here cannot be a 4 or a 6. So this is suddenly an 8, placing a 7 or 9 over here. 8s are out, so that's an 8. That's not a 7. 5, 7, 9. The 1 being required to be over here, so 1, 5, 7, and 9. 1, 4, 7, 9. This 5 has to be one of those two, or one of those two. 4, 5, 7, 9. Oh, but we know the 4 has to be one of these two because of the 3, so that's not a 4. If this was a 2, that would have to be a 4. If this was a 4, this would have to be a 5. And the 6 would place 7. But all of those work at the moment. Okay. Is there some Sudoku I can do?
Well, column 8 needs 1, 2, 3, and 9.
Not a 1, not a 2, not a 3. Also not a 3. So this is the only 3. And we're going to have to put 1 on here. So that's not a 1. 2, 3. Leave that off for the moment. Oh, this can't be a 1 either, because either this is a 1, or it's a 2, which places a 1, because it can't double the 4.
Row 8, you can place a 7.
Have to go there. So then what are these two left over?
8 and 9. So the
Oh,
9 comes out with
1, 2
the 1,
pair
2
places
pair.
9. That 9's out. Alright, let's do 8,
Oh,
6, 7,
row
9.
7
Row 7.
has to have a 2 in box 8, yeah. And the 3s in boxes 5 and 8. So you can place the 3 in.
Box 2.
Yeah.
Left over in here. 2, 3, 5, and 6, it looks like. Three, 2, 5, 6. few too many digits, but 8, 4, and 7. That's not a 3. I guess none of those are 3. These are there. Oh, and if those two are 2, then these two can't be 2. 6, 5, 6.
And since those two have to, yeah.
6, 9, so 2, 4, and 8.
8. Yeah, it wasn't really an instant spot of the 3 X-Wing that had been sitting there a while.
Yeah. 1, 3, 4 is all out. These can't be 6. Those can't be 2. These two aren't 8. Those two aren't 7. I needed a 1 on here, so that's there. So then have 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. Do 3 pair takes 2 out. Where's 6 in this column? Well, it can't be in here. Can't be on top, and 6 isn't 2 or 3. So that's a 6. Which makes this one 7, 5, and 9. 7, 4, 1, not 7, so that's 9. That's also a 9. It's out of everywhere, that's 4. 8, 9, 7, 4, 8. Not 8s, not 7s. This digit is fixed as being a 1. 5, 8, 6, and 9. 2, 3, 3, and 7, 4.
Well, that's 4 and 7 or 9.
But the 4 has to be on here, so this is a 7. So then it's 4, 9. 2, 3
And there's
pair
a
makes 7.
4 X-Wing with boxes in box 2 and 5.
2, 8, 4. That makes this the 1 and this the 3.
Yeah, now there was a quick X-Wing spot.
5, 6 takes that out. 6, 9, 4, 8, 3. Not a 7, not a 1. Now, if this was a 3, that would place a 2 over here and make that
Well,
nothing. This is a
yeah.
2, that's a 3, that's a 7. 2 and 1, not a 2. 2 and 3. This is fixed as a 6. These two are 2 and 5. These aren't 5. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. Well, one of those is 5 and 6, which combine with that 5 or 6 to make that a 9. 5, 6, 5, 8, 9, 7, 5, 9, and 6. And I
That was enjoyable.
think the 3s in box 5 were just locked in there a few seconds before you spotted it. Now you're just showing off it correctly. Yeah, I do kind of feel like the 3s have been sitting there for a while. Although we may not have placed in the 3, 4 for a bit. I don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know. No.
It's not like this is recorded, so no one. It's not possible to tell either. I hope nobody finds the timestamp to know when we could find that on this not recorded. Is my disingenuous bait for comments working? Oh wait, I shouldn't be saying that. All right. Electron, do you want me to put a link to this puzzle in the description? I needed a lot of tries for finding this Sudoku until I was happy with the ending of it. I mean, it's a pretty. It's If I had to give a difficulty to it, which I'm not necessarily saying that you're asking for one, but it hopped into my brain. This is I think on the harder side of average. I don't think the rules themselves make it difficult, but it is kind of tricky with all of the telekinetic properties being all over the place. But yeah, but I'm glad I put in the time because I'm pleased by how smooth your solve went. I mean, it could have been a little smoother if I hadn't made a mistake at the beginning, but otherwise, like, yeah, it was pretty I guess I'm trying to come up with a different word than smooth. But yeah, the smooth was easy enough to it was easy enough to get around. I was a bit concerned with how many digits were in the white arrows. But then
In the long run, it
yeah.
didn't hinder anything.
And in fact, I think it was actually necessary because this 5 got narrowed down really quickly after I put in all of the possibilities, and then looked at why it couldn't be any of the other ones. I feel like that one was the first one that we got from there. But yeah. Also, you're free to put the link in the description, although let me send you the link with Solution Checker. But yeah. So once I get that, I will put it in the video description. Let me go ahead and put that in my notes. See that so far. Yeah, you need to see that white arrow has to be a 5. Yeah, because it's fairly restricted with like what this has to be, and the stuff that's happening over here, and then it had to be 1 through 6, and then a 6 was removed from this. A 2 was removed from here. I think. It couldn't be a 1. Oh, I guess 1 and 2, even if this 2 didn't remove it, the 1 and the 2 up here did. So that made it 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah,
And then the 3 and the 4 from the 6 and the 8
right.
is what forced it to be a 5. And because the 6 over here placed a 4 over there. Yeah, that's how that one worked.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a nice break-in.
Yeah, those 2 boxes communicate really well, especially with the entropic line. Yeah. All right, and then copy link. Put that link in my notes. Alright, then. I don't need that one anymore. We've got time for at least one more puzzle, hopefully. So let's go ahead and take on one more. The Slowest Snake by Dorlier. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Draw a snake which starts at a gray circle and ends at the other gray circle, and never passes through a gray square. The snake moves orthogonally and or diagonally and can cross itself and acts as a slow thermometer, i.e. reading from one end to the other. Digits on a snake increase or stay the same. The direction must be determined by the solver. Furthermore, the snake passes through at least 27 cells. The sum of the digits within a cage sum to the small clue in the top left corner of that cage. What? Normal Sudoku rules apply. Draw a snake which starts at a gray circle and ends at the other gray circle and never passes through a gray square. The snake moves orthogonally and or diagonally and can cross itself and acts as a slow thermometer, i.e. reading from one end to the other. Digits on the snake increase or stay the same. The direction must be determined by the solver, and furthermore, the snake passes through at least 27 cells. The sum of the digits within a cage must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of that cage. Okay, so those two connect. Now, if it has to pass through at least 27 cells, then I believe it has to be 37 cells. Say again?
You mean 27? I thought I heard you say 37, but maybe you did say 27 and I...
27 was the number I was trying to say. Whether or not I said it or not, I don't know. So I was trying to say, because it has to be a minimum of 27 cells, I believe it's going to have to be 27 cells. I don't think it can be any longer or any shorter. And the reason for that is because if we look in the grid, there are no places where I can draw a diagonal line of 4 digits that repeat. Because it would have to go into 4 different boxes. So I think we're going to end up where we get like this sort of thing happening. And I think this is required. Because that's not going to work. But this one can go in either of these two. No, it can't go this way. So it's going to have to go that way. And that way. Now, it doesn't have to maintain being diagonal. However, in order to get 3 in a row, that's going to have to move diagonally. Because I have to have a minimum of 3 of each digit. Or it's at least an average of 3 of each digit. But because there's no way to get 4 in a row, I think it has to be 3 of every digit, right?
I think so. Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, there's no way of getting 4.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I've either made a mistake or I'm stuck in some way because where do I go next? Like, let's make this side orange and purple. I guess it doesn't matter. And maybe I also make this side of the line. Okay, so then where do I go from here, right? Because I need to connect purple to another orange, but I can't go through a gray cell. And I can't go through a red cell either.
Well, go up 1 from the purple, up and to
Yeah,
the right, and to the right.
and then I can go here for another grouping of
Yeah.
orange. So how do I get blue to work? I think blue doesn't go this way. I think blue actually goes this way.
Yeah, but now blue's stuck.
Yeah, so blue is stuck there too. But I guess blue could go this way. And now blue isn't stuck, because now blue can go this way and be another red. If I do these 3 as being purple, then I think I've missed something. Because purple is blue, orange, red. So red, blue, red, blue. I need a
Okay.
red. Oh wait, those just connect right there.
Yeah, but it's not long enough yet.
Is it not? 1,
9, 10, 11, 12.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I need 2 more.
Go from the blue in box 4,
Uh huh.
go up to the left. Down. Oh, no, that wouldn't work.
You can go
That would only
left.
get 2. Yeah. And then that one connects to the red.
And now I get 1, 2, 3, 4 blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. Alright. I don't know if that's the only way that works, but it probably is.
All right. Well, the sixes are 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah. 1, 2, 4, 5. And now one of these two is all ones.
Right.
Which means that's not a 1 and that's not a 5. And this can't be a 1, so that can't be a 5. And there's a small part of me that's afraid that this isn't the only way that this lines work. But I know for a fact that this is the only way that the start works. And we tried the 3 different directions for this one, and then it didn't work at all. Because
Right.
this one had to go here. Because it couldn't go here. Because the only way that it could go through this one is if it goes here. I guess technically it could have gone right and down, but then this one had to go this way. And this couldn't have gone up and to the right. And it couldn't have gone up and to the left. I think this is right. I could have gone here and there. But then that would block this one. Because it can't go here, here, here. I mean, I guess it could go this way. But yeah, it can't go anywhere along the border. And then we know it can't go here, here, or here. Can it go to the center of this set? Well, it would have to go diagonally, and it would have to go back. It would have to be in this box again. So it can't be in the center of any box. And since it has to start out by going diagonally, it has to either go down and to the right or up and to the right. This one is just forced.
Right.
And that one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. And if we went into this one, it would be a dead end. That one doesn't work. The only places it's allowed to dead end are the two dots. This could go either of those two ways. But this one was forced. If I went this way,
You don't
then
have to go in a straight line for 3. Go
right.
up to the right, up to the left, down to the left.
Say again?
Would hit 3 if you go up to the right, up to the left, down to the left.
These two would
Oh,
see
no,
each
that's
other.
supposed to see each other, right.
So it always has to be a straight diagonal line.
Yeah,
The only time I'm allowed to move orthogonally is to give me a new diagonal.
right.
And I can't go to here.
And you can't
If
go up. Yeah, right, if you go up to the left from there,
this one could go that way or that
but
way.
then it gets if you go up to the left, you get stuck. Because where are you gonna go from there?
I'd have to go into one of these three. But then this one doesn't have three it can go to.
Right.
And then that doesn't have a diagonal to come from it. So I'd have to go here, and then I could go that way.
Right, and isn't that how we ended up with that was it in that spot? That little I'm pretty sure that was where that little chunk was.
Probably.
That little curl around itself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
I mean, if I just mark every possible diagonal, I mean, the diagonals are either positive or negative diagonals.
right.
those three. Can't be those three. It would be these three. Those three. Change those to blue. So this one was forced, because it can't go up and to the right.
Right.
Okay, so if we lock this one in, and we lock this one in, then this red line is impossible.
Right.
Now I don't need these anymore. You'd think clicking in the middle of a box would be easy, but somehow it didn't work. Okay. Now, does this red line here work?
No.
Yes, because I can connect it
Oh, right.
there.
There.
Okay, now this one has three possible lines it can connect to. The blue line up here, the red line up here, or the red line down here. Whereas this one can connect here or either of those.
Electron says I ended up creating the LMD page for the puzzle earlier, so you can put that in the description instead.
I do like linking to Logic Masters Germany if I can. The link does look a little weird, but what's the puzzle named? Distant Disorder. No? Alright, back to this puzzle. How many lines do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need to remove, I can only remove 2 lines. Is that right?
Yeah.
So if I used this blue line here, that would automatically remove 2 lines. And same if I used this blue line here, or this red line. Because this blue line here and this red line here are mutually exclusive. The same way that this red line and this blue line and this red line and this blue line are mutually exclusive. And if I have 11 lines, then I cannot use this blue line, because then I'd have to remove 3 lines. Um,
I was just laughing at what Elatron said here. Also, I quickly checked the video. He spotted the first X-Wing in 7 seconds. And the second one in. It doesn't I can't see it, it's behind the little heart, but
it looks like
it's like 0.
2 seconds. Yeah. So maybe we were a lot faster than we thought. Yeah, so we know that blue line's removed, and because the blue line and the red line up here are mutually exclusive, we know that one of those two has to be removed. And if I removed this red line, no, that blue line would not be isolated, because it can still connect there. But if I know I have to use this red line, then this end can only connect this way. Yeah, because I have to use this end of this red line, so it must go this way. So then these two lines are locked in there. And now they can't connect this way, so how does this one connect? Well, the only end it can, well, no, it has two options. It could go there, or it could go down.
Yes, but if it goes down, then that little circle you have in box 9, where does it connect?
That one has to connect here, so that connects there. And now we're too close to connect here, so now this one would have to connect here. It's not. Why?
Well, and the one that's the bottom green tip in box 5 has to go somewhere.
And it goes to one of those two. Oh, wait. This one has to connect to something.
Right, and it has to go up.
Okay. So now we wrap around here. Okay, this end, well, I don't know if I'm using the red line or the blue line. But because the red and the blue line are mutually exclusive. Because they share a cell. But those are my two ends at the moment. But I know I use both of these two red lines. So if I look at this end of this red line, where can it connect? It's going to have to go this way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then that's locked in that way. This one's locked in that way. And now where can this end connect to? Well, it's going to have to go this way. So now the blue line's locked in, the red line's removed, that's disconnected, and now those connect there. And that is our proof that that is the way that it has to be. Okay. And then if we do red and blue sections, that will help with keeping track of which ones are the same. Okay. I'm having too much fun with the colors. And I need to get to solving. So, 2 is on one of those. So, that's not a 2, that's not a 4. Alright, I'm going to ignore 9s for the moment. We looked at 1s. So now 4 has to be on the next blue section. But that doesn't feel like enough information.
No.
I guess what we can do with the blue sections, because we know that those are the evens, 2, 4, 6, 8. But then this middle one, as I then highlight everything, well, that can't be 2 or 8. Then this can't be 4 or 6. I guess what I could do is 1, 9. And then these are 3, 7. So this has to be 5, whether we like it or not. 1, 5. And so now this one can't be 4, it's 6. This one's 4. So then we get 3, 2, 1, 8, 9, 7. 2, 4, not a 2, not a 4. Alright, that feels correct. However, where do I put 2 in this box? Well, I can put it in the gray square. 3, 6, 8, 9. Somehow none of those are 9, so that is. This one isn't an 8. 3.
1 and 5.
1, 3, 5. 6, not 6. 7, 8.
1 and
6, I think.
yeah, 6 is what we're not seeing.
4 and 5. 4, 5 pair.
Yeah.
That's not helpful. What about these 3? 3 is there. 6 and 5.
And 6. Yeah.
What about these 4? 3, 5, 9, and 6. 5 is out. 5 and 6, 6 and 9.
3, 6,
3,
9.
6,
Triple. Box 7.
Oh, right, 5. This is 3 or 9 there. 2, 4, 5, and 6 are all gone, so is 9. Bottom 2 can't be a 3. Okay, these 2 are 2 and not 2. 9. I'm going to place 3, 6, and 9, an 8, a 4, a 2. Those can't be 8, that's a 9. That's, excuse me. Press buttons a little too early. Okay, how about this column? 4, 6, 5, 8, and 2. 1 and 9, so that places 7 and 3, 3 and 7, 1 and 9. These two left over, 7 and 8. 7 and 8 are fixed. 5, 6, and 4. 1, 2, and
8.
8. 4, 5, 6, and 7. How about these two? 2 and 9. 9 in that order. 1 and 5. 6 and 5. 6. 5, 6, and 1. 8 and 2. 4 and 5. 6 and 1. 7 and 8. 4 and 7. I need a 1, 2, 3. I need a 4. A 5. A 6. 7. And an 8. Here we go. Would have taken less time if I'd done the diagonal lines properly from the beginning.
But I think that was still the same configuration we had initially.
I believe so. But then I got paranoid about there being other possibilities. There probably wasn't because, I mean, you have these diagonals, but
Yeah.
or not diagonals, these blockers, but I was concerned we got it too easily, to be honest. Or maybe it's not about it being too easily, it's about it being unrigorous. I think maybe that was the concern. But it is after 10 now, so let me check that all of the words that I can say perfectly without any mistakes. Logic Masters Germany. The Slowest Snake. By Dorlier or Prof. Dory. That is correct. Column 7. Followed by column 9. I'm trying to decide whether or not it's on the average side of hard or the hard side of average. I do think those lines are not easy to conceptualize.
I think it would be more to the average side of average because you just went back and double checked yourself instead of just accepting that, yes, this was correct.
But if it wasn't correct, then we would have been very upset. Because we weren't rigorous.
Yes, but once it was correct, established that yes, it was correct, it didn't take very long. It flowed very quickly.
Yeah. Alright. I'm convinced it's the average grouping. Submit. Alright. Copy. And paste. Copy and paste. Alright. That should be all of the things. If I can figure out the right window to switch over to. Then sign off.
Of course, now, okay, with Electron's new puzzle being on Logic Masters Germany, our solve is not on there.
Oh, right. We should go do that real quick. Do. I guess I could just go to the link that was shared. Put that in. And then for evidentiary reasons, this one. There we go. Transition. Although, does it even show up if I scroll down here? I guess I'm plugging in the solution code. Oh, but this is the wrong one. Need to go to that link. Go, use solution, copy, paste, there. There, it's got one solved now.
Woohoo! I don't know, it's kind of special being the first one to solve a new puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple.
Yep. All right. Then, other than all of the fancy YouTube engagement stuff, which everyone knows, the liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and sharing the video, that is all of the things that I have for today. I guess if anyone is interested in other content on the stream, that is going to be Final Fantasy VI tomorrow at some time that I determine later. Monster Hunter World on Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And obviously, if you want more Sudoku, I guess I'm not sure why I'm overusing the word obviously. If you would like more Sudoku, that is on Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah. Mom, anything you want to share before we sign off?
No, I think I'm okay.
All right. Anyone who watches this back, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.